Hey guys, they did it again. Bloks has once again made an incredible looking replica of a very recognizable piece of war machinery, and they've done it with almost exclusively existing parts from their parts inventory, parts that can be used for a nearly infinite number of purposes. However, they did invest the money, which is tough to do for a company. They invested the money that it took to make a couple of new mold sets to properly capture and do proper justice to some very important pieces and some very important sections and lines of this very iconic and memorable piece of war history. This is the P-51D Mustang, and the kit officially came with 623 parts for you to put together. Amongst that part list, you will find not a single sticker because anything that looks decorated here is printed. Another thing that required additional investment for them to pull off, and I appreciate it very much. So these are all printed pieces, printed right there. Even the carbon buildup on the side from the exhaust, that's printed. These are printed pieces back here. The number on the tail, that's printed. And of course, the figure has its own printing, which we'll take a closer look at in a minute. This is really nicely done, man. I always hate to just gush on something when I review a product, but sometimes things just look so good and they just are so good that there's no reason for me to go into trying to get all specific about nitpicking on things. There isn't much of anything to nitpick on here. I could not have done this any better, period. The only thing that I think is kind of off here a little bit is the exhaust set, because they only have 4 pipes coming out on either side. And you know, it was a V12 in the D, so well, actually all of them had V12s, didn't they? So there should be 6 there. I think they actually could have pulled that off, but yeah, that's the one thing that's, you know, it's not ideal. Other than that, this is the main new section that they brought in. I believe they used one single mold for all of the parts used here. It's 3 parts in total. They're all done in a tinted, kind of transparent, smoky colored plastic or resin. This is just painted here. It's also painted around the edges of the canopy. And then you have an insert there for the window or window set that shows up in the front. This is all one piece here that just fits into it. Other than that, I think they may have done a new set of parts here for the prop, because they did bring in some pretty accurate looking propellers for this. The blades are pretty accurate looking, and these also have prints on the tips, and this is also paint application on the front of the nose cone. Obviously this can spin up. There are a lot of things you can actually move on this. I mean, you already saw the canopy can open. I'll show you the inside of that in just a minute, but all the control surfaces are movable. Now they are a little bit fragile because they're only not even 2 plates thick, but a plate and a tile thick. So you do have to kind of hold them around the joints, and they do kind of want to snap apart at times. Personally, I don't feel that's that big of a deal. I understand it. In order to make this more durable, they would have had to make it thicker, and then that would have taken away from the realism. We as consumers can do that. We can add the parts in, but you know, if play value is more important to us. But this is definitely more for collectors who want that realism. So I think they made a very conscious choice there. You've got a rudder that can be turned back and forth. Also, your elevators can be elevated and also brought down. Good range of motion there. Once again, just a single plate and a single tile of thickness there. These are pretty nicely done. Here's something that I didn't expect at all. It just completely took me by surprise and blew me away. Tail gear can be completely retracted. Main gear can be retracted as well, but they have little locks in here. You have to move this out of the way. The locks keep them out so that it's not going to accidentally kind of collapse in while you've got it on display. But you can unlock them, bring those in the way that they actually do on the real plane. So that's nice. Notice that everything is smoothed out on the underbelly, not on the undersides of the wings, because again, you're limited by the thickness there, but they did do a pretty good job of approximating the shapes down towards the root of the wing. We've got these drop tanks out here, which can be dropped. I mean, it's not really a feature per se because, you know, they're just parts that you remove, but they look good and it gives you the option for displaying this in different ways. You can actually make this look like it's flying because when you have the gear tucked away like that, that's actually a proper look from the underside. So, you know, hook up some fishing wire to this and hang it from your ceiling and you actually have something that you can be proud of having on display even though it's made from plastic bricks. We've got the 6 machine guns, the Browning 50s out on the wings. Like I said, just nothing really to complain about from me other than the exhaust outlet count. This here can actually be removed. They have just a little bit of a hint of engine in there. That's nice. And this is supposed to represent, they've got 2 jerry cans side by side and those represent the oil reservoir. For a better look inside the cockpit, I'll just remove the canopy entirely so you can get in closer and you can see that they have an exclusive printed piece for the whole console area. The main control stick is down there in the center. Could have been a little bit longer, I guess, but over on the left is supposed to represent the thrust mixer, and on the right, I believe is supposed to be a canopy release with the cable going to the back. And you can squeeze a figure actually down in there. You just need to keep the legs close together. It's going to be really tough to actually put the hand on the control stick. It may be possible, but it would be really tough to make it happen. So I'm personally just not even going to try right now. But you see he fits under there with plenty of room to spare and makes this look even better from a distance. Got a little bit of refraction going on there, but from a distance, you know, actually having that head popping up like that is pretty key to a realistic appearance. Mega Bloks labels this figure Air Soldier. I don't know if it's supposed to represent a particular character from the Call of Duty franchise that this set is supposed to be based on. If anybody out there has any specifics about this figure based on its markings or based on the game, please do leave a comment to that effect. For me, this is just one of the best looking figures that Mega Bloks has done, period. Period. The lining around the edge of the jacket there at the base and also at the ends of the sleeves is wonderful. The printing on the front is really good as well. I'll have to take off the straps there to let you see that a little bit better. They did a pretty good job with the head. You know, the paint application is not perfect here. It's missing a couple of spots there, and also it's a little bit too glossy with that skin tone, but it's pretty well done. And they also painted on the goggles and the ear protection, or the headset, I guess. Of course, you've got the removable backpack here. Paint application on the revolver, which has the bright silver color added to it, but that's not the main color of the plastic. There's a single pouch here. Let me go ahead and take off this part so you can really see the good bit of the print. There we go. Yeah, that's some pretty fine detailing in there for the emblems. And again, I don't know emblems of World War II that specifically from specific branches of militaries, but if anybody does know these things, please do share that with the rest of us. It'll be good to see. You can also see the undershirt has a little bit of white peeking through, which comes all the way around the back of the figure, and there's some paint application for the strap for the goggles coming around the back of the head. I could not be more impressed with this. I mean, this is a proper small figurine. This is beyond the action figure, micro action figure, minifigure world for sure. Well, that's it for my look at this set. Again, if you have any thoughts or any information that you would like to share with myself and the rest of the viewers, it'll be very much appreciated. It's always good to see more feedback from more different folks. Hope that you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed putting the set together and presenting it to you, and now I'm going to enjoy keeping it on display because this is definitely staying together. Stay tuned for my next video, which is on its way very soon. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.